So over the last few days, we've had a ton of new and returning players coming back to the division, and everybody's asking, what is the fastest way to level your Shade Watch level in year 6 of season 3? And many of you guys know over a year ago, I switched to PC and my current Shade Watch level is about 4,000. I also have a hardcore character that has its own Shade Watch level on the same account, which is 1,000 plus. And then obviously you guys know my PlayStation account has a higher Shade level watch than this. How do I go about leveling my Shade Watch, and which is the fastest way to level it up in year 6 of season 3? Well, let's get into that right now. Now, the first thing you guys need to know is you won't have a Shade Watch until you hit level 40. So if we go to my world map, I did set my world map to normal because I want to show you guys the amount of XP you get for doing something on the easiest difficulty all the way to the hardest difficulty, right? Even though it says there is 0 XP given here, let's take a look at this control point. So this control point gives me 29,000 on normal. Let's do a propaganda, gives me 80,000, okay? So there we go, perfect. A control point, normal, no directives, 29,000. And then obviously a propaganda, normal, no directives, 80,000. So now we have our map set to heroic. And if we go down, let's go look at a control point. A control point now gives us 361,000 with no directives. So a huge bump from normal to heroic. And that's why having your world set to the hardest difficulty you can complete is going to be beneficial, because doing control points on challenging over normal is going to net you more XP. So as you progress, your build gets stronger. Highly recommend start pushing this up until you can do heroic, because the amount of XP you can get just from doing a control point, 361,000 versus 29,000 is crazy. And let's see if we have a propaganda. Propaganda was 80,000. Let's see if we can find one on the map for us real quick. There's got to be a propaganda around it somewhere here. Gives us 217,000, which was 80,000. So even that is more. So again, now what you guys are going to do, once you guys do this, you guys are going to go here, and then you're going to put the global directives. For every global directives, you're going to get 25% extra XP. So you see 25, 50, 75, 100, and 125% extra XP. That's a huge amount of XP that you guys get. And with the builds I'm about to show you guys are going to be able to run all of these. Now, if we go to our world map, and if you go to a control point with 5 directives and on heroic, 812,000 XP. That's one full level. And if we go to a propaganda, 489,000, almost double by having no directives and having directives on, right? And most of you guys might ask, yo, Skills, how are you able to have all the directives on? Special ammo, scavenge skills, fog of war, yeah, fragile armor, but pistolero. Pistolero means you start with no ammo, hostiles killed with the sidearm are the only ammo source. So typically you can only run this with a pistol build. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna set 1 or 2 classes. The class I recommend setting is gonna be your gunner class, because there is a perk on here that says generate 10% of your total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. So this will automatically fill up your sniper build. Not only that, there is another one you guys can use. It's going to be the sharpshooter, and it's going to be after 20 seconds in cover, you start to generate marksman rifle or rifled ammo. So you can use that one too. But I personally like the gunner class because I have enough damage with this build. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look for these activities like this, because these are very fast and these are going to net you a ton. Propaganda broadcasts are a great way. And then also any public executions are great too. I don't see any right now. Oh, we have one right here. So look, this one, 518,000 for a public execution. This takes you about 30 seconds to a minute. We have a propaganda, takes you about 30 seconds to a minute, 489,000. You can knock these out so quick. And we're actually gonna start working on these real quick so you guys can see how fast you guys can get through these. Again, if you're new, recommend maybe doing some of these control points, because these control points are gonna net you a lot of XP, and they're gonna net you a lot of gear that you can donate to your library, work on your expertise and stuff like that. But for this video, what we're talking about is the fastest way to level up our Shade Watch. So what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna hit this, and then hit this, and then hit this. So let's go, let's test this out. And you guys can see already, right, that I have 46 rounds, right? And I'm not supposed to have any ammo except for Pistolero, but because I generate ammo because of that gunner class, I already have ammo. So just to show you how this build works real quick, and I'll show you description. Once I land one headshot, it's going to be able to drop all the other enemies without any effort. And you see, boom. And we can just do that so quick. So what we're gonna do here is we are going to attack this public execution. We're gonna hit this propaganda, maybe hit this one, and we can even do a control point to show you how fast it is. So if you currently look at my Shade Watch level, you'll see we're sitting at 4,191, and we have about 100,000 into this Shade level to the next Shade level. So let's see how much we get from doing this one, doing the other one, and let's test it out, right? And see how fast it goes. How am I missing these shots? That's my fault, to be honest. There we go. I think we're doing perfect. Where are the other guys at? They're over here. You see how we're just able to one-shot all these people? I'm gonna ignore him. There's a guy over here, I think. There we go. That's it. And it was that quick. How long did it take us? A couple, maybe 30 seconds or so? Not even. Boom. Beautiful. 518,000 XP we saw pop up. So that's great there. And then we keep moving forward. And then we also have the propaganda over here that's going to take us a little bit longer. But my recommendation is you can just travel around the map, find these, and knock them out here and there, and you're going to get a ton of XP. Obviously, there are going to be some projects you can do that can give you some XP, but if you want the fastest way, this is going to be it. Doing these propaganda, public executions, if you really need to, the control points aren't going to be hard to do either, and I'll show you that either. And remember, this is with 5 directives on, so you can't even get any more XP than what I'm showing you right now. So we have a guy here. Recommendation, target the guy with the red if you're running this build. And then boom, that's it. And then you can hit body shot, body shot, body shot. One of the most broken builds in the game, and it's been like this for years. And you know, we've covered this a few times on the channel, but this video is less on the build, more about getting the... Should be one more somewhere. Nice. You see how we're just dropping all of them? Access key detected. Nice. And some of you guys may be asking, where am I getting my armor from? So typically with this build like this, if you're a newer player, you're probably running with the talent called Vigilance. I personally like running something like Bloodsucker because it pairs good up with the Hotshot. Once you have a strong enough build, you'll be flying through these, so no stress there. Vital signs critical. There you go. System restored. Oh, my fragile armor goes away. Yep, it did. Override required. UAV is airborne. Here they are. There you go. GG's. What was that, like maybe a minute? Just because we have to wait for them to spawn? We're almost at 4,193. My favorite, honestly, are going to be public execution. Those are always my favorite to knock out because those go so quick. The problem with like this one right here, I will tell you, I've done this mission, this activity 100 times, is they spawn on the other side and it can be very annoying. So you have to run a little. But again, it shouldn't take you that long. But if you see, we're just running through these. So easy. And they typically spawn over here, which is a pain. You'll start to see him right here. So I gotta go get that key anyway.
Access key detected.
And this works with modifiers on or not. It doesn't really matter.
Progress halted.
Let's go up here, this gap here.
Manual override required.
Come here, buddy.
Hostile control point
I can't hit him?
identified.
Perfect. Let's see if this works for us. We should be able to jump up here. Oh no, we can't even get here. We just gotta get up top. See, this is the one I told you. You already knew it was gonna take me a little, but again, these are so simple to do that they take you minutes to do, right? And getting that type of XP is crazy. Now, control points are pretty good because they do rush you, and I do like that. And we'll do a control point just so you guys can see with 5 directives. Again, like I said, I'll put a link to this build, so if you guys want to go over it, I'll also show you a screenshot of it. But again, like, you can swap it out in the video. I explain, like, you can swap out a couple things.
Nearby location guarded by hostiles.
Those guys aren't even part of the... That's it. So again, we're going to be...
Manual override required.
Nice. 4,193. But we're going to do this one right here. This is going to give us 812,000. That's going to be literally a full level and more because it's 700 plus XP for each level. So let's do this real quick so you guys can see, and then that way, if you guys want to try this build, remember 5 directives. You can do it with modifiers, no modifiers. It doesn't really matter. I like the modifiers, but if you don't have the modifiers, it will do the same thing. I'm not even activating him right now, but we're gonna activate him in a second. So let's take it out. See how long this one takes us. You guys can use a pulse too. I'm not even using the skills we have.
Reinforcements incoming. Serious trauma
shoot.
detected.
My bad. Now remember, this build works for certain things. It does not work for all missions. So these guys right here, it's gonna make you break their helmet first. So you're gonna have to hit them a few times. Once you break their helmet, you're good. So those are gonna be the only guys that you're gonna have to hit twice. There's also hyenas that have helmets too, that you have to break the helmet. We'll see if we get any more.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
We just got one more guy. See, I'm just hitting body shots too. These aren't headshots. The first headshot you have to hit. Now, if you have to proc determine again, yeah,
Contacts.
you can do it there, but so if you guys trying to get ready for Battle for Brooklyn, this would be a good build for you guys to get those shade levels up. They're over here.
Heavily armored detected.
Where's he at? There you go. That's it. So again, we went up to 4,194. We're almost at 4,195. But again, 812,000 XP. And remember, you have all the gear you can go collect from killing the enemies. You also have this box at the end you guys can collect. So you guys can do all of these activities like this. Gain shade points, whatever you need to do. Gain loot like this. And you know, boom, boom, boom. If you guys are trying to level up fast, you're going to want to do all these activities. And you can just do all of them. There's certain areas that have a ton. Like this area is actually really good. That'll have a bunch here. Sometimes they spawn here. You also have areas like this that usually spawn a lot too. You have areas up here that you can do a few. Sometimes they spawn. Yeah, look, they're starting to spawn over here. And all that's going to help you level up your Shade Watch. And then also once you get this fully maxed out, everything else goes to your scavenging points. And why are scavenging points good? Because you can use these materials to max out your gear. So that is just something for you guys to keep in mind. This is the build here. I have a full build breakdown. I'll put a link to it. But again, this build, you can modify a couple things. What makes it great is the hotshot pieces with the sniper, with determine, kind of makes the build work. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Hopefully that helps you guys out. And hopefully you guys are on your way to getting higher shade levels. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, nothing but skills out.